Welcome to a special Veterans Day edition of the DJP Free podcast, where music meets real stories. Today, we honor those who've served with courage and heart. Joining us is Air Force veteran and author Aldric Fishe, creator of Little Bankers, along with his longtime friend, Clifton Jake Coulter, a proud Vietnam veteran. Together, they'll share their experiences, wisdom, and what Veterans Day truly means to them. Now, let's get into it. Here's your host, DJP Free.
Yeah, you guys good?
Good.
Yes. All right, good. All right. I'm going to start off with the first question. So, well, I guess I'll just loosen it up a little bit. I'll jump right in because I'm sure excited about talking to you guys. I know, Al, you got some great stories, and talking to my man, we've been together or we've been friends for a long time. The author of Little Bankers here. And since it was Veterans Day, it was his idea to bring in Mr. Jake. And what's your last name?
Coulter.
Coulter. Yeah. And we're going to be talking to him about some of his experiences as well. So I'm excited to, talk about that. And but first, I want to, talk to you, Al, as an Air Force veteran. What lessons or experiences from your time in the service still guides you today?
Well, some of the lessons I learned from being in the military and being in the Air Force was discipline. When I just came right out of high school, I was, wild and crazy, and just going through the basic training and going through the experience of just being taught to be a man. Grow up. Taught me how to grow up and be a man. So that's one of the main things that I got from my experience and being responsible. Can't call in sick. You can't just say I'm not going to work. So you had to show up to work, and you had to be responsible, and that's basically the thing that helped me.
Yeah, I mean, because
I'm a man.
Yeah, that discipline is something. Because I used to always wonder why my dad would get me out of bed. You know what I mean? When I was young, I hated him for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You had to get up there and rake them leaves in the yard and everything. And man, I was like, and then I'm looking at all the kids in the park. They're going, playing, and me and my brother, we stuck here and got to, do all this work. And, I hated him for it, but he was teaching me something bigger. You know what I mean? That's I love it now. You know what I mean? I look around, and the work ethic that I have compared to all the other people around me is, second to none, because he's taught me how to, push through it, the discipline. You know what I mean? I don't feel like going to work, but, you go. A lot of it is just showing up.
That's right.
So, and this brother right here, I know he's showing up because, man, how many businesses you got?
Presently run 3 businesses right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, and he's here, and he was doing these businesses and working
a full-time job.
Full-time.
North Carolina Department of Corrections, 20 years.
All right, man.
Correct.
All right, we're going to pivot. We're going to talk to our Vietnam veteran here, Mr. Jake Coulter, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. For a Vietnam veteran, can you share a memory from your time overseas that still stands out after all of these years?
Well, my tour in Vietnam, I landed over there in 1968 with the 3rd Marine Division, and I was up at Quang Tri. That's that's south of the DMZ. But by being over there, I grew up fast. I was 18, but by the time I left, I was thinking about like a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
Because you see so much, and it's really hard on you. And by being in Vietnam,
I can imagine.
You never forget. I mean, I've been through treatment for PTSD, but you still, you can't erase it. Anything can flare it up,
Yeah.
You can see war movies or Saving Private Ryan or Full Metal Jacket. It's just like it comes back to you just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
All right, when you look at those movies, is because first of all, looking at some of those, movies are pretty horrific. You know what I mean? And the conditions that they had to endure. are any of them pretty accurate, or or some of them just Hollywood?
No, some of them pretty, especially Platoon.
Platoon, yeah.
I mean, that was right on time. And by being there, I never did run into prejudice. I drank out of canteens from guys from Mississippi and all.
Right.
So whether up here back in the States, they wouldn't want to drink after you, but over there, it was just a matter of life and death. I mean, it was like a brotherhood. You know, we looked out to each other, especially in the jungle.
Yeah, I can imagine. And that's another thing. Personally, that just gets me so angry. You know what I mean? How you guys are going over there fighting for us. Doing these things, and some of the treatment that you guys have to endure. You know what I mean? And let alone the the mental and physical stress that you guys have to go through. You know what I mean? So, but moving on to the next question. How did the military experience shape your outlook on life? And you already answered that, and maybe even a way you see America today.
Well, I was in the Marines, and we had very close discipline. And you bring that, once you get out, you always have some form of discipline.
Yeah.
By living in the civilian world, you carry that.
Yeah.
Because I was in the Marines and the Army.
Okay. That's very interesting. You was in the, so you got out of one and went to the other, or how did that work?
I stayed in the Marine Corps, but I got out 7-1, so they couldn't guarantee me that I didn't have to go back.
Okay.
So I just got out and went in the Marine Corps Reserve.
Okay.
And then I stayed in there, and I don't know, it's just like I want to get back in there, but I went into the Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 81.
Very, very interesting.
And then I got out in 87, started working in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I trained out.
Wow.
I was 25 years there.
Woo.
Yeah. Then I retired.
Yeah. Now, did you have a family or anything at that time when you came back, or anybody that kind of looked after you when you came back?
Well, my family was a good support for me. My mom, my dad, but when I was married, I mean, it's hard to talk about it because I didn't know I had PTSD. I think that's what ruined my marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understood. A lot of us don't want to admit it's something wrong with us until we can admit it's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the big thing, is being able to admit or just, confess. But, I got, there's a lot of pride, I got it together and whatnot. And then, I'm really second rate with this because, I'm, just speaking just from life experience, but as a veteran, I know it's just like 3 or 4-fold for you, and so many things that you had to deal with.
Yeah.
So, let me see, going to the next question. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced transitioning back as a civilian into the civilian life? What was the transition?
I think it's being around the crowd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because over there, we had that group, and we understood each other. But when you come back here, it's like they ask you questions. What was Vietnam like? It's hard to explain to somebody.
Yeah.
If you wasn't there, now I could talk to another vet that's been there, and we can relate more.
Yeah.
So I had a hard time with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just on the phone talking with my cousin John, and we were talking about his nephew, which was my cousin. And his father went into the Marines years ago, but then, he turned around, he went, and his son, his name is Michael Faison, we called him Buka. And he went into, I think it was during Desert Storm and all that. And so he went in, and it just seemed like he just had a real hard time transitioning because which used to, I guess, that's when they were, kids was coming up to him, and pregnant women was coming up to him with bombs and stuff. And he was saying like, I this kind of the first time I talked with my cousin about it, and he was like, yeah, he said, cousin, Uncle Jay, man, I had to kill kids and kill women and kill pregnant women, man, and it just stuck with him. And he wound up later on couldn't adjust, and he wound up unaliving himself. So he but I can imagine some of that trauma that comes with transitioning. So okay, so man, that's some real stuff there. So all right, Al, we're gonna go back to you, and I guess we're gonna just talk about the book a little bit. Your book, Little Bankers, touches on discipline, focus, and ambition. How much of your military background influenced the writing behind the message and the message behind it, I should say?
Well, when the book took place, I was really young. I was a kid, basically. So I didn't realize then what, I didn't know then what I know now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I'm saying is that, but as far as the influence I can speak more to me writing the book, my experience from the Air Force and the experience of the discipline and the things. It made me want to put this book into writing,
right?
And put it into writing because I told the story. I told the story to the Air Force buddies and things, and they seemed to, get amused by it and thought it was a great story. And so I thought that it's time to put it down into writing. But when I was a young kid, I really didn't think about some of the consequences of doing some of the things I did in the book. And but when I think back now, I say, wow, I just can't believe that I did some of these things and that I got away with some.
Yeah.
So that sort of, more so made me, my military experience made me more disciplined as far as to sit down and put this book on paper. Put the story on paper.
Yeah. Yeah. All goes back to discipline, don't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Was there a particular moment or lesson from the Air Force days that inspired any part of Little Bankers?
I don't know. That's a good question. My Air Force days were just, I was adventurous. I was, I guess I can tie that in. I just I've always wanted some type of a business. Even when I was in the Air Force, I talked about business,
right?
And I talked about again, I told a story, but it's really just a story that I talked about during the Air Force times, and I just wanted to thought about down the road putting it on paper, but. I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, I think, also you probably had to look at yourself and admire some of the bravery you went through.
Yeah.
Because you guys had to be, pretty brave to,
We was, I always say sometimes children and kids can be brutally honest.
Right.
And so even back then, we were afraid. We didn't think that, we knew that we could get in trouble. But you're right. We just didn't care.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, here's another question. How do you see the story in this book connecting with younger generations who might not know much about military service?
Well, okay. It's sort of like two parts, I guess. The question is like, okay, first the book. When we talk about the book, I want the kids to understand. So
it's really connecting with the kids, right?
It's connecting with the kids. Yeah. It's mostly. With the book, were me and the other guys perfect in the book? No, we weren't perfect.
Right.
Some of the things we did in the book, I would like for the young kids to learn about not to do. And some of the things in the book, I want them to see the entrepreneurial part of the book, where if you put your mind to it and you want to accomplish something, you can accomplish it. And no matter what your age, you could be 12 years old like we were during Little Bankers, or you can be 80 years old. if you have something you want to accomplish, you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Awesome.
and the book shows you that you can. You know,
Yeah.
if you believe, you can achieve.
All right, cool, man. That's good insight. So the next question is for both of y'all. So, you two share a bond as veterans from different eras. What do you think ties all the veterans together, regardless of age or war? And who wanna approach that first?
I'll say that one thing that ties us is that DD Form 214. That's the honorable discharge, the paperwork you get when you get out. They don't give you that. They don't just give you that for winning a prize. You earn that.
Gotcha.
And the fact that even when Jake was in, even when I was a little kid, he was in, and I did my time. We still have that connection. You know, that we both served the government, we served the flag, and we're proud of that service. And no matter what era we came from, we still have that DD Form 214.
Jake, you want to add to that?
Well, I think if you're out there and it don't matter what branch of service you're in, you can all relate to a veteran.
Right.
Just talk to him for a while, ask him about what demo is, you know, what was his station, you know, what was his rank. If they come off and tell you that, and you can relate to them, instead of somebody just putting a hat on and say I was there, you know.
Yeah, and I noticed a different camaraderie with veterans. You know what I mean? That that goes beyond race and religion and all that. It's just a certain respect you guys seem to have for you guys. That you guys seem to have for each other, I should say. And okay, so how did your friendship come about? How has the veteran brotherhood played a role in both of your lives? Basically, how do you guys met? How do you guys,
Mostly at work when I started working at Department of Correction.
Okay.
Yeah. I trained him.
Ah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite a while, so we related to each other because we were both in the military. We talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's got to be, so you guys must really admire each other. So, because I know Al's retired now and, and y'all still sticking around. So,
well, yeah. Like you said, we met, when I first met him, Jake, he taught me a lot. He wasn't afraid to tell me when I made a mistake.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. And that's the one thing that I respected about him is that, some people, and when Jake would tell other officers and people that they made a mistake, they'd go run to the administration and saying he's trying to tell them what to do. But I listened to him because I know he knew, and he might tell me something to save my life.
Right.
In there. And so that's one thing that I respected about him. He told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear.
That's important.
So we had a friendship, and that lasts all the way up to today. Again, I have respect for him as being a Vietnam veteran, like all veterans.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're still friends.
Y'all click. Yeah. Okay, so what's one of the things you wish civilians better understood about veterans and their experiences?
I think, by being a veteran and a civilian, I think they should give veterans more respect.
They should.
Yeah, because being a Vietnam veteran, when we come back, we didn't get the respect because the war wasn't popular with the American people.
Yeah.
Some of them called us baby killers and all that. Which I never killed a child over there or anything like that, but that was their prerogative. So
that's crazy.
I just dealt with it,
Yeah. And how about you, Al?
I like them to know that and realize that it's being a veteran is not an easy way of life. It's not an easy way of life. It's not like when they get up, like I said earlier, it's not like a regular 9 to 5 where you get up and you don't feel good and I'm not going to work today or I'm calling in sick. You work holidays, you work You know, you work long hours
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the same pay, and you know, uh, so it's you know, it's not a hard, it's not an easy way of life. When you hear people have done 20 years in the military, which I didn't retire, but the years I was in, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy on your marriages. It's not easy on a lot of things. So I want people to realize that when they say thank you for your service,
Uh-huh.
you know, I want them to understand that, you know, it wasn't just easy. That's just saying that, you know,
Yeah.
it's a hard, it can be a hard way of life.
So, what advice would you give a young man or woman for thinking about joining the military today?
Me personally, I think you have to have a little bit of self-discipline before you even go in.
Hmm.
You know, because in there you're gonna hear things that you really don't want to hear and you're not accustomed to. You know, especially in the Marines. 13 weeks at Paris Island, you know, it I had discipline, but it broke me too. So
Yeah.
by the grace of God, I got through them 13 weeks.
Yeah. How about you, Al?
Um, I would tell them that if you're not going to, if you don't have like I did when I went in, we didn't have computers, we didn't
Mm-hmm.
have you know, the internet, we didn't have all these things where you can get scholarships and look for grant money and all this. Where you know, when I got out of high school, if you didn't, I wasn't good enough to get a sports scholarship. I wasn't smart enough to get a academic scholarship,
Right.
and
Right.
so if you didn't have, and I didn't have any money. My parents didn't have any money, so the only two choices you had is go work in the factory or go to the military,
Yeah.
you know, or go to a life of crime.
Mm.
And so I tell the young people today, if you're not going to college and you don't want to work in the factory and you don't want to go in a life of crime, go to the military. Go into the
Yeah.
military. It's
Uh-huh.
you know,
It
it'll
can.
help
It
you get a
can.
career.
Yeah.
You'll have a career. It'll teach you
Uh-huh.
skills, and you'll have a paycheck. You'll
Yep.
have a place to live, and you know, you can make a career out of it if you want. But that's what I would tell young people, you know, to consider that if you're not going to do anything else,
Yeah.
but hang on the street and go to the military.
Yeah. I've seen it do a lot of people some good. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Going in, made them well rounded and you know, and change their life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It may
Hmm.
not work for everybody, but for some
That's
people, it
right.
really works. It really
Hmm.
works. Um, so what does Veterans Day personally mean for each of you guys? Besides the free deals and the meals, even some good stuff out there.
To me, I think it's being appreciated. You know, somebody
Yeah,
appreciate me for the service I did for my country. You
yeah,
know, everywhere I go, I wear a cap where I was in the
yeah,
military or where I
yeah,
was stationed. You know,
uh-huh,
and we get a lot of respect. Sometimes
yeah,
we go out, they buy our lunch or something like that, pay for our lunches.
yeah,
Thank you for your service, and that means a lot.
yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
And how about you, Al?
It's the same as Jake. I don't have much more to add to that. He hit it right on the head. You know,
Yeah,
respect and be thankful for you know, the freedoms that you do have, and just be thankful. So Jake summed it up pretty good.
yeah. That's awesome, man. So Al, how can you work as an author, veteran, and role model, inspire others, and phase, what was that? And chase their purpose after service? I think I messed that question all up. Did I read that right? Let me read that again.
Mm.
So, how can your work as an author, veteran, and role model inspire others to chase their purpose after service? I guess that's the.
Just like I said before, just follow your dreams. I mean, work hard, uh, do the right things, uh, follow your dreams. There's a there's a passage in my book at the beginning of the book, and it says, and I just like to leave it at this: the dedication
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning of the book, and it says, if I can find it here, it says, this book is dedicated to all the entrepreneurs, young and old, who have the imagination to dream and the audacity to make those dreams come true.
Amen to that. Yeah. Was it as being in the service? I'm adding this question on as being in the service. Have you seen a lot of people, uh, dreamers that would probably rather be in there doing something else than being in the service, or after they got done their service, they would dream to become something else, or
Oh yeah, oh
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of people
Mhm.
that had ideas. Even when I was in the service, I dreamed about having my businesses while I was in the service, and so yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah.
Yeah. So, um, where can listeners find your book, Little Bankers, and how can they connect or support to your?
Well, you can go to littlebankers.com
Mm-hmm.
and to the website. You can order the book off the website, or you can go to Amazon. The book is on Amazon, and you can order the book. Just type in Little Bankers on Amazon. But if you go to my webpage, it'll take you to the Amazon page, basically where you can order the book. And I encourage people to read it. It's a fun book. It's a fun story. It's sometimes I'm in awe, even of the fact that me and the guys ran that bank for a year,
Yeah.
and read the book, and you'll see the end. You'll know what the ending is.
All right. Well, guys, it's been great talking to you. You know what I mean? We getting to the end right now. Before we go, give shout outs and messages and stuff like that. Would you like to share with your fellow? Well, yeah, give us some shout outs if you like to share with your fellow veterans out there, or people you might want to know that you might want to.
Well, I'd like to shout out to my buddy Johnny.
Okay.
He's in the First Marine Division. We grew up together, finished high school together, went to Marines together. He went the First Marine Division in Vietnam, and I went to the third.
Okay.
But he lost his leg over there, and
Okay.
he's been a friend. Ooh,
Shout out to Johnny.
Johnny,
Yeah.
yeah,
Shout out to Johnny
yeah, and the rest of Vietnam veterans.
and the rest of the Vietnam vets. How about you, Al? Any shout outs you want to give?
I just want to give a shout out to my friend Eddie Dover. We went in on the buddy system, and to all the veterans. There's so many to name, my friends, but I want to give a shout out to the my friends and buddies from the Wolf Pack, the APTAC Fighter Wing, Korea, Kunsan, Korea.
All right. Shout out.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Those guys, when they hear that, they know who they are. And all my other veteran friends and people I serve with.
And this is for both of you guys. And if there was one song that represents your journey as a veteran, what would it be, and why? So you already told me your song,
Yeah.
Al.
My song is "Every Generation" by Ronnie Laws, and the reason why is because that song starts off as telling about a young man, and it basically talks about the journey of his life,
Yeah.
and that song means a lot to me. It sort of reminds me of my life when I started out, especially as a small little banker, and all the way up to today.
How about you, Jay?
I think mine would go back to "Run Through the Jungle" by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Yeah, every time I hear that song, it just puts me right back in Vietnam. I mean,
Man.
it was rough over there,
Yeah.
and if $20 million on the table to live the 13 months I did over there,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it. That's some cheap
Oh
money.
man, that must have been some. Yeah, we were going to do some more of this, and I know because I know you got a lot of personal stories. You know what I mean? That you like to put out there. Because I know that must have been 13 months of pure hell.
Yeah, it was, but it was like a sorority. You
Gotcha.
learn everybody in your platoon, and then say if you don't go out that morning, and they come back in that evening, maybe you done lost this person.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
But you got to keep a mind frame, because once you start thinking about it, and when you go out there, you lose all concentration.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You got to keep focused
Yeah.
on the little thing. Even the animals.
Yeah. And I guess that's not easy for everybody.
No.
My mic. Something went out here. Well, it looked like I'm still recording. There we go. That was just probably my earphone. Good. I think I got everything. But, it's a pleasure to talk to both of you guys. Both veterans on Veterans Day. I'm going to give a mad shout out to all the veterans out there. And thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for your service. Most definitely. And I look forward to hearing some more stories with you because we're not done. And we want you guys to go pick up the book Little Bankers by author Aldric Fishe. Again, you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on littlebankers.com. And we really appreciate you guys. And, and that'll be it. Let's go get some lunch, y'all. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got to jump on one of them veteran specials with you. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks again.
All right.
You've been listening to a special Veterans Day edition of the DJP Free Podcast, featuring Air Force veteran and author Aldric Fishe, creator of Little Bankers, and his friend and special guest, Coulter, Vietnam veteran. Today, we honor all who've served, past and present, for their courage, sacrifice, and dedication. Thank you for tuning in.